I think some of us don't because we sort of just survive the end of the year and we're still kind of reeling when we get to the beginning of the year.
True.
So I think many of us start thinking about, and judging from the commercials you see on TV for those companies that focus on that, I think weight loss becomes something that is more part of our consciousness. The weather gets better. It's easier to go outdoors and to exercise. We have less responsibilities than we might have at the beginning of the year where things can tend to still be a little crazy. So I think we tend to focus on weight loss. We tend to focus on those sorts of things. So what we have for our monthly special, and we could even have at the bottom of the screen there, we have our Ultimate Whey Protein. It's unlike any protein that you're going to find anywhere on the market. And then, of course, we have our energy and fat metabolism factors, which we'll talk about that, I think, this evening. We'll mention that. But the Ultimate Whey Protein, most people sort of have a love-hate relationship with protein. They know they need it. It's something that's part of their workout program. They put it in their smoothie. They might put it in their oatmeal or oat bran. But our whey protein is something that literally you can mix with water. You will not find it. It has no flavor. The only flavor it has a little bit of a dairy flavor. So if you're going to dehydrate milk, it would almost taste like this tastes. So it has a little dairy flavor. We add no sugar. We add no flavors. We add no other ingredients. So you're talking about a product here that is, and I have a chart that shows it's pretty amazing. I'm not aware of any other protein powders that can say this. It's 10 grams per, it's a small scoop, 10 grams. You can always take 2 scoops if that's what you want, but there's nothing else in there than protein. So if you look at this, there's no fat, there's no trans fat, there's no saturated fat, there's no cholesterol, there's no carbohydrate, there's no sugars, it's low sodium, there's no added soy, and most whey protein has added soy, oddly enough. They use it as sort of a solubilizing agent. No flavors, no sweeteners, no artificial ingredients.
Oh, wow.
So when you go down that list, it's unlike any protein product you're going to find. Whey protein concentrate, I wouldn't take whey protein concentrate. I don't want the sugar, I don't want the lactose, I don't want the carb, I don't want the fat, I don't want the cholesterol, the saturated fat, I don't want the cholesterol. I want a pure protein product. And I've heard commentary that there's some special cofactors present in whey protein concentrate that isn't present in whey protein isolate. I haven't seen a shred of research on that fact. So if you want the best source to get all the benefit of whey protein without some of the issues associated with dairy, because again, many people, we have reviews from folks who are lactose intolerant, who use our whey protein isolate because it's literally sugar-free. So there might be a trace of lactose in there, but it's literally 0 carb calories, 0 sugar calories. So I was just going to mix it up because that's about the most remarkable part of this product is typical protein products, whether it's whey protein or albumin or casein or soy protein, they really don't, they don't mix well. You absolutely have to have a blender, and what you basically do is, I put 2 scoops in there. I don't care, I'll put more, but because I'm going to drink it. But you have to use a blender, and typically when you use a blender, what you're basically doing is you're mixing the protein up, and if you let that drink sit for a while, that protein immediately starts settling out. True. What's unique about our protein is just the fact that it's really, well, you can see already. I mean, what pure protein powder will do that?
Oh, that's pretty
That
amazing.
Already mixes. And again, this is something that we've worked on for years and years, and it's...
That's pretty incredible. I mean, anyone who's tried anyone else's protein powder, I mean, it does not mix like that. I can tell you that for a fact. And, wow.
I mean, it's just...
that's a jaw dropper. I mean, seriously.
But I mixed it for about probably 5 or 10 seconds at most.
Yeah.
And when I finish this glass, there won't be any residue at the bottom of the glass or anything. And again, there's no chunks or clumps when I'm drinking it. And you can see it. It's all in solution. It's...
Wow, wow, wow. Oh boy, that's crazy. So remember, all you do is you pick your size of choice. We've got the 20, the 50, and the 100, which...
No, so I just downed, literally it was about 4 scoops of protein, so about 20 grams of protein. And all I did was mix it with water. I'm salivating from it. And all I did was mix it with water. And that's... I mean, you could put it in your blanket at home when we make smoothies and things with frozen berries, which we love to throw frozen, because frozen berries and frozen vegetables, they're frozen like basically out in the fields and things,
Right.
and we try to buy organic. But those frozen berries and frozen vegetables, they preserve their good nutrition.
They do.
The ones in the refrigerator, they always go bad on us. We always struggle with them. So when it comes to smoothies, it's great. You just throw in some frozen berries, throw in half a frozen banana, put as many scoops as you want in there. You can do different things. You can put almond butter in. And this has no flavor, it just has a dairy flavor to it. So there's no added flavor. You don't have to worry about allergies or sensitivities to those flavors or sweeteners or things like that. It mixes with everything. It mixes with a vegetable drink. It mixes with a fruit drink. It mixes with hot cereal. So you will fall in love with it. There's no protein powder like it in the world. Nothing like it at all.
Absolutely not. So you just pick your size of choice. Again, the 25, the 50, or the 100. And since we know most of you who are grabbing it do that 100, you actually get $10 off on your additional bottles. So
Right.
it's a special bonus buy as well.
So on the large size, it's great pricing on this. This is something that even its HSN price, we've priced it.
Yeah.
This is a very, very expensive and unique formula.
No kidding.
The whey protein isolate we're talking about here is unlike any other protein supplement. It's also the most efficient source of protein, so you could use less of this protein to get the benefits you
Yeah.
seek. And again, it mixes with anything. It's flexible. As you saw, I mixed 4 scoops in probably about 8 or 10 ounces of water. It mixed with a spoon in a few seconds, and you could just down it. And that's typically what I
Yeah.
do. I like to do a little protein before and after a workout or a run, and that's where I derive the best benefits.
Absolutely. So grab yours. One just quick word to the wise, free shipping.
Yeah, and that's and that's a few pounds. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm doing like arm curls there. So the savings on the shipping adds up as well.